Okay. Let's rise for the UMaT and let's have our seats. Good evening. You're all welcome to the start of the getting of the presidential panel, as UMaT said. If you hold on to our rules, you can clap or cheer your aspirant up, but not to the extreme. We have the right to walk everybody whoever out we wish to. Aside that, we don't accept placement of answers to aspirants, and for now, that will be all for now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start the vetting process. Good evening. Good evening, Richard. Good evening. What I heard, good evening. Good evening, just how are you doing? Do you ready for coming? Okay. Give the mic to your president. Richard, give the microphone to your vice president again. How did you address me? Address you as the justice. Come again. I did address you as a justice. You addressed me as an honorable member. And my show, my president. How did you address me?
No member.
No member. Why?
Because when you're a member of the panel,
No, it's a lie. You have started lying already. So take the mic. Tell us about yourself.
intuition.
Turn your CV upside down and tell us about yourself. Make it brief. Make it brief.
My name is Intuition. Student of the University of Science and Technology, School of Railway and Infrastructure Development. Currently studying Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Electronic Engineering. I completed my senior high school education in Achimota School in the year 2022. I have my basic certificate examination session by future leaders. Although I attended Jesus Love Hills in Enugu, I'm the current president of the Blue World Junior Tomorrow. I'm the United Nations Youth Association, Western Regional Chairperson. I was a former house monitor, Happy House, Mother School. And I like to talk about football and history. Thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
Thank you very much. I am the person of Project 11 Assam, currently within PSC Electrical and Electronic Engineering, the University of Mines and Technology, precisely Escabu campus. So I am also currently within Occupational Health and Safety and Premium Mines and Safety. Again, I attended my senior high school at K University Senior High School, where I was a deputy vice prefect, the place I evangelism coordinator.
If there is noise in place,
Where was the deputy vice prefect, the place I evangelism coordinator, and I was served as the deputy general secretary for the SRC. After senior high school, then my constituency as the youth member of parliament in the youth model parliament, also served on the financial committee. I am one person who embodies integrity, and that is Frederick Lamizasa. Thank you very much.
thank you very much. So, presidential okay. So, presidential candidates, I would like to ask you a few questions on your CV. So, under your skills and interests, there is history there.
Yes.
All histories or Ghanaian or African related.
Related. But most ancient European histories.
That's good. So, can you give us a brief history of the Second World War? What brought about it is?
A brief history of the Second World War. So the Second World War was mainly brought about as a result of the German leader at the time, the leader of the Nazis, that is Adolf Hitler, wanting to claim European power for himself, launched an attack on the Austro-Hungary province, and then with that, when he launched the attack on the Austro-Hungary province, England and the other countries around also came to defend them because they saw Germany as a threat. Later on, they started fighting in the Soviet Union, and then all countries in the world began to involve themselves because they had to defend their interests. Sorry.
The next one, football tactical management. So let's do this. 4-3-3 in football. 4-3-3. Formation. Is it a defensive formation?
So, 4-3-3 is not mainly a defensive formation. You can have 4-3-3 attack, 4-3-3 holding, and you can have 4-3-3 defend. Okay, so this is how you defend a 433 information. Now, with a 433 attack information, you have defenders, three midfielders, and then three attackers. Now, when you are defending in an attack, because this is an attack information, always midfielders and forwards are going to press forward, and you have your left back and your right back also pressing forward. In case there is a break, now the instruction is going to be that the central defensive midfielder, who can also act as a central midfielder, will always have to drop keep, and then the left back and the right back should always make a run backwards.
Audience, you can clap for your aspirant, but the time you take, I can ask question when you are making noise and it goes against you. So in recent ancient days, football formations or positions where there were numbers used for it. Maybe this is this in the beginning of football. So as a defensive midfielder, what was the number used to associate that number that position?
5.
Okay. And 5 is what?
5 is the right back.
5 is the right back.
Sorry, left defender.
Wow. And technical name for number 8.
Technical name for number 8. Central midfielder.
But your 5 was wrong, so you have to review your football tactics. Right?
Mr. Richard, example. Honorable.
Justice.
Okay, so I just came to see your referee say you just give us their names and the position they are holding. Why this? Why this? Why do you choose to do it this way? You have a reason for what this to do.
Because the referees are high profile personalities.
So how do we confirm this?
We can confirm this upon request.
100%.
President, we are dealing with your CV, okay? We leave your vice president to rest, okay? Thank you very much.
So if you want to reach out to them, if you request, you can get the address one and you can reach out to them online.
No, you brought their names here as your references for your referees.
Yes.
So give me a reason. I'm not going to get the time to go online to search it. For us to report it, should have it here. So why is it not here? You are saying they are high profile. So how do I confirm that?
How do you confirm they are high profile?
No, I know they are. I want to reach out to them without going online to look for it. Yeah.
Okay, so and to reach out to Mr. NCH, have the contact of the secretary. You can reach out to him through the secretary. And then with Honorable Dr. Stakeholder.
And you have the content of it.
Mm-hmm.
You should be here. What about the next person?
Yes, that's it.
Entering to work. She doesn't be here. Have you?
Yes.
Right, thank you.
So, under the certificate, educating certificate examination. Yeah,
Interesting.
and is it there?
No,
Why?
type of error.
Under the skills and interest. History, right?
Yes.
I'm more concerned with the history. So, what student protest movement took place during 1977 to 1978? What student protest movement took place during 1977 to 1978? Yeah, President, I'm referring to you. Should we proceed?
Yeah.
All right. So, good planning organization skills, right? How organized are you?
Organize. Set that everything of mine is in line.
So, good planning, right? So, right now, the boys or the men here want to go for a picnic, plan an event.
Okay, so if you have planned an event, what you are going to factor, the first thing you are going to factor is the kind of people going to that event. Who is the location of the event? Three is what events they are having.
So, you are going for a picnic.
You are going for a picnic.
Yeah.
Okay. With the location, which is one, people going for it.
You are planning it, so plan an event. You are planning it, so plan an event. That's the picnic event.
The people, the kind of people going for the picnic, the place where we are going to have the picnic, and the mode of people sit to the people, and then the activities involved in the picnic.
You get my question right. I didn't say the procedures. I said plan a picnic.
Okay, so the name of our picnic is a men's day out. It will be held at the Vienna Beach. We are going to have games such as Owari, we are going to have football, then we are going to have beach soccer. The bus will be available. The bus will be in around 1 a.m. The time for the picnic is 2, and the bus will be in around 1 p.m. The time for the picnic is 2 p.m. 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. You said you are a historian.
Yes.
Okay, let's go into history. You are the current GCL, GCL president, right?
Yes, sir.
So, which people drafted the Rural Constitution?
So we have Albert Taiwan, who was the chairman. We have Vida Akure, who was the secretary. We have Achiyano, who was a member. We have Anthony Yao, who was also a member.
I'm asking you, not your wife. Mr. Vice President, you please allow the president to keep this.
And Frederick Sasa, who was also a member.
Thank you. So, Mr. Presidential Candidate.
Justice.
So on the history. Running mate, please. Just leave history on your CV. So, can you don't talk about it? I'm very interested, I like histories. So I want to bring you to another history area. So there was a riot that led to the killing of some policemen or security personnel. And after a world war, can you tell us about that history?
Okay. So the World War here was the Second World War. And then the riot was as a result of policemen who were marching towards the seat of the governor at the time for as a result of unpaid allowances from the war. And then these policemen, the riot happened in the year 1948. And these policemen were second.
Their names you can mention for me. As a historian, I think you should recall. Okay, so you mentioned the seat of government. Where was the seat of government then?
The seat of the government then was at the Christian Rock Castle at Osu.
Vice presidential candidate. Thank you for assisting me.
Okay, so this is funny. We can't do anything here. When it gets to you answer your question. With me, you don't speak. Okay.
A guy who came from China will be the first person to give a credit. Fine. So on the history, okay. So let's give a bit of experience, okay. When was an MOU of UMaT signed?
May 2018.
That's not all.
Please come and give it a question.
Full dates, day, month, year.
18th May 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's go on. UMaT became a full university under which Act of Parliament?
Act 677.
It was signed on which year?
It was signed in the year 2004.
Thank you. The government, upon the advocacy of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, refined the mission of TTI to incorporate the training of the mining technicians and other middle-level manpower for the country's mining and related industries. At that time, what was the name of the University of Mines and Technology? Mr. Vice President. Okay, my answer is ready.
Please come again.
Mr. Vice President, be on your feet. Is my answer ready?
So the what's called please come again with the question.
Oh, I'm not repeating the question. That was why I was reading it one by one for you to get it.
The Chamber of Mines came in. The school was called the Tapa Technicalis.
Are you sure? So when was the school called School of Mines?
The school was called Tapa School of Mines in the year 1961.
How sure are you?
Very sure.
From the answers you are giving me, you are not a good historian. Let's continue. Back to your CV. Under education, University of Mines and Technology, Jan 2023 to present. Program. Is that started a paragraph? Because I don't see any bulletin over there.
That was a type.
18 hour year.
That was a typo error.
That was the type of. So when you are voted into power as the SRC president, your first is I will be reading typo errors to us. Okay, so your work experience collaborated with Oga. What's the meaning of Oga? What's Oga?
OGE.
OGE. Okay. Any meaning for that? Any meaning for that?
OG and Associates.
Oh, okay. So who is the CEO of OG and Associates? Who is the CEO of OG and Associates?
Reynolds Pattern.
So the same unbulleted paragraph again, leadership experience, no bulletin. Good planning and organization skill. Mr. Hassan, you can take your seat now. Languages, fluent in English, Chi, Teshi, and Fancy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go with Chi. You give one account proverb and you explain, or I give you the proverb to the point, then you continue. Choose one.
I'll give one account proverb and I'll give it.
Okay. But after that, I'll still give you one and you continue. Thank you.
So, you can't say people shit. Now, who will share your legendary?
It's not true. It's not true. Okay, let's go on. 24, please quiet. Mr. Adam, please you are disturbing us. In 24 says, Oko to feel now, but to sort of why you listen. Please quiet. I should move on. Okay. The Uchigi refuse to name bar. Please, there is spring.
Now you make your name.
Jenny Crib. Okay, let's move on. Dear Ben Anna. Please don't know it. Anna, come again. Anna. Oh boy. Okay, let's move on. In your continue. Hey, I want someone out. Can you see me and you be like, this guy? He said, You already know I go on. You just you two up there. You get it. Okay. Give me four formal modes of communication. Formal modes of communication. Are you an NSMQ contestant?
Yeah. I want to join that contest.
Okay. You have 5 seconds. It's time.
So, 5 official,
Four formal modes of communication.
4 formal modes of communication.
Yeah.
Verbal communication. You 2-letter writing.
Okay.
We sign language.
Okay.
And 4.
Which of the modes of communication you just gave will we, the panel, use to communicate to your office now?
Writing.
Writing.
Yes.
You expect me to write to them. Did you provide their postal office box over here?
No.
Their email, their numbers? Okay. Thank you.
Good evening once again. Yes, in Richard.
Good evening.
Okay, so audience, let me take this moment to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Albert Osujachi, the first ever president of UMaT SRI. He said you are the CEO of a champion events, right?
Yes, sir.
As the CEO of an events company, what critical decision making framework do you use when managing high profile or crisis prone events?
Please, come again.
I can't come again. Okay, so describe a time when one of the events almost failed.
Okay. During the organization of the election, I need to have the first election,
First edition of what?
the Youth Excellence Award. So we started we started the awards event, but mostly in this awards event, we generate, in case you don't get sponsorships, we generate the money you use to run the event, is the money we use to vote. That's what we used to organize the time. Then we were about 2 weeks the event, and the money we were getting was not enough for the entire setup for the event. So it had to be affordable, but we adopted strategies. That was we introducing bulk voting. Then it made the votes so people voted and we were able to
Introducing bulk voting.
get into our event. And that made a lot of people.
Okay, thank you. I'll hand over the microphone to provide.
Mr. Frederick,
Yes, justice.
welcome. I have two questions for you on your silver. I'll take it from the bottom. So, under leadership experience, kindly share with us your achievements as a youth model parliamentarian.
Alright, so as a legal student model parliamentarian, in this very parliament, we model real life situations. Okay, so during my tenure in office, I modeled a situation of youth unemployment in my constituency, and the task was to find solutions to that very problem. And we came to understand that one way we can find a solution to youth unemployment in our constituency was to encourage the youth to develop business ideas, to employ themselves in self-employment rather than develop on the government for employment. And that was the scheme or the model we used to solve the youth unemployment in my constituency by that model. Thank you very much.
Was so your solution, was it implemented?
Yes, the module was done. We passed it in our last sitting, and I believe that a good number of the people who would want to pursue it did pursue it. But then we can't really have a physical number of people who actually pursue that very model we created because we were just about passing on.
So that means you didn't assess the impact of your solution.
Yes, please, to put it.
Okay. So under your languages, English, Asante, French, no level of understanding indicated. So I assume you are very fluent in the three languages.
No, please, justice. I am an advanced speaker and listener in the English language, an intermediate in the Asante, and a beginner in the French.
Begin in French. So the French, as a beginner, introduce yourself to us in French.
Je m'appelle Frederick Levitt Athan. J'habite à Angoissy.
About all you can see about yourself.
Je vais
S'il vous plaît.
Oui, monsieur.
What's your dance?
You see, this is please. Are you done? Then I said yes, please.
Pouvez-vous parler anglais?
If I do understand English.
No.
If I do speak English.
Pouvez-vous parler anglais?
Why did I speak English?
No. I'm conversing with you. So I expect you to reply. Pouvez-vous parler anglais?
Oui. Yes, oui.
Mr. Clement,
Yes, please.
rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 1. How well or best can you use Microsoft Word?
It's said on the scale of 1 to 1.
1 to 5, sorry.
I'll give myself a 3.
3.
Yes.
So you agree with me that you could have done your CV on just a sheet like your president.
Yes, please.
So why didn't you do that? What accounts for that mistake?
Could be the line spacing.
That means you are not the one who did it, right?
I did it and sent it to someone for editing.
Sent it to who?
Sent it to Mr. Texture for editing.
Mr. Who?
That's it.
Okay. So how well do you know your president?
I know him as Richard N.T. Champon, a vision-oriented person. Man of integrity.
Are you done?
Yes, please. That is in brief. As a vision-oriented person, a man of integrity, and one who makes sure that once he set goals, he achieves the goals.
Tell me about your foundation. Or it's not yours.
This is the fine.
What makes it yours?
Because I'm the founder of the foundation,
What's the name of the foundation? Please quiet.
he said foundation.
Okay. So when was it established?
Right, so he said foundation. He said it's an Hebrew word, meaning what's that foundation? It was established after my senior high school
Is it
education.
registered?
No, please, we would register it this year. That was according to our plan.
Are you telling me this because at least is it registered?
No, please.
So tell me about the foundation in general.
Alright, so the foundation was being established in the year 2021. We had our first project in the year 2023 when I had been admitted into this very university as a first year student. We went to Ete Methodist Junior High School to donate about 65 mathematical sets to them when they were preparing for their BAC, and as well
How
encourage
did you
them.
sponsor that?
Please, we sponsored that by I sponsored it myself together with the members of the foundation because we paid.
How many members in total do you have in the foundation?
Currently, we have about 86 members.
Okay. Go on.
Yes, please. So, after we donated the mathematical set, we also advised them and made them know that in as much as they're in the public school, finance should not be the end of the education. They should aim high and become the best of version or the best version that they want to become of themselves. From there, we
Are
also
you
went.
authoritative in the foundation because it's yours?
No, please. We
Are you
have
the only deciding board of the
we
foundation?
have an executive body where the current general secretary of the TAPA SRC is our vice president. We have a general secretary, we have an organizing secretary, we have a PRO and other various executives. Yes,
To be clear.
I mean UMaT SRC, general secretary current,
Okay.
which is Miss Sarah Jamra Amakun. She's
Are you done?
yeah, that's about the executive structure. Again, we have it as a vision to have a rank of the foundation in every university campus. So currently, we are on the base of getting a good number of people to start off here.
Thank you. Do you believe we are all here to learn?
Yes, please.
And are you ready to learn?
Yes, please.
Okay, so when you see next time, you do your arrangements well, okay?
Okay.
So who is Miss Dorcas Apono?
Right. So Miss Dr. Sakono works and is a biology tutor in KNW Station High School.
What on your CV can she confirm for us?
Alright, so she can confirm my leadership roles in KNW Senior High School. And of course, she was my mother back on campus. So she can confirm that I was an ARS presidential aspirant. I was a local SRC deputy general secretary. I was a deputy head prefect, and I was also a
We
court.
want to call her right now, can we?
Yes, go ahead.
It won't be that you are disturbing him.
She's a married woman, so because of time,
What's your time?
it's my time says 9:24.
Thank you. Respect. Mr. Fred, Clement, Papa.
Yes, please, just
Can you tell me more about your education?
all right. Okay, so Currently, I am reading BSc Electrical and Electronic Engineering, University of Mines and Technology. I'm also reading Advanced Diploma in Occupational Health and Safety in the Imperial College of Mines and Safety, which I'll be graduating next week Saturday. I attended Kane West Senior High School where I read General Science within the period of 2018 to 2021. I attended State First Academy, JHS, within the years of 2025 to 2028, where I said that
I think you are living ahead of time. 2028.
no, 2018.
Okay.
Yes,
Tell me, when you are doing this, you have diploma in occupational health. Where is that one?
I think that's an online course that I'm taking.
You are taking, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. And Test First Academy JHS 2015 2018.
Yes, please.
Are you sure?
Yes, please.
And where were you in 2014?
All right. So in 2014, I was in my primary school, which is Jesus S International School, where I also served as the sectional leader of my section of my house.
Can you name 10 people who were in your class?
All right. So Alexander Etuhene, which is you, were my class.
I'm not Alexander.
Alex Etuhene,
Okay.
Joshua for Hayford. Loretta Champion,
Go on.
Loretta Champion, Loretta Potma, Derek Dana, Elijah
When
Mele.
you are addressing me, I am your justice here. You get it? And instead, you are leadership experience. You are a youth model parliament.
Please, I was.
You were
Yes, please.
Wase East.
Yes, please.
Are you sure?
Yes, please.
How do I confirm this?
Please, I've given us the youth model parliament number on my referees.
Right, I'll do the calling.
Right.
What if I call and I find out?
It is very true. That was the year 2021 when I had just completed my senior high school, and that made me stay over here.
Clement Frederick, Wase East Youth MP, Deputy Chairperson Finance, Partnership and Welfare Committee.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll find out about what head foundation.
It's a foundation. It's my foundation that I formed in the year 2021. Because of our foundation, extending the love of God to the less privileged in our community.
And where is that foundation?
Please, we don't have a particular place or a specific place for the foundation.
Where did they start going from?
So, I just started with a very few friends of mine.
Where did they start going from?
Please, we don't have a particular venue or place as our stationary place. We are from various places all over the country.
Go ahead.
Yes, let me say, it started from within my friends.
It's where?
Like I said earlier, we don't have a particular place here to be our office or what have you. We are just people
I'm not talking about office. Say you have friends in your community, in your school.
Right.
Here.
Right, I have friends from basically from my senior high school.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Skills. Strategic communication.
Yes, please.
This strategic or it's deceptive?
Strategic communication.
How sure are you on that?
That's using the element of communication to relay information to people in a precise manner.
Are you sure it's deception or it's strategic?
Strategic.
Are you sure?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the reference I'm having here, the referee I'm seeing here, Mrs. Lucas Apono.
Yes, please.
She's the same person if you want to confirm about you being the deputy chairperson. Are you see what I'm talking about?
the model parliament.
Yes.
Please, we have the youth model parliament, their phone number available.
Right. So when I call this number, who am I going to? Who am I reaching?
But we have picked one of the executive officers of the model parliament.
I'm not sure this is not a lie because you can talk to somebody and bring this as soon as I call the person, like, wait, I'm this person. Because I'm not home to go there to confirm myself.
Just this is the actual number of the executive of an executive member of the model parliament. I would not like that because integrity is my hallmark.
So if I follow So if I follow up and it's not legit, you and your president will be held. Mr. President, you agree on it? You and your president.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Right.
So under education, Director of Mines and Technology, President. Why President?
Because I'm currently in the University of Mines and Technology as a student and I am reading electronic engineering BSc.
When were you admitted?
I had my admission letter in the month of September 2022 and I was enrolled in the university in January 2023.
So why not the starting date by the president?
Sorry, Justice. In the best of my knowledge, I thought I'm still in the university, so I should make it present. As my other justice, or as our other justice said, we are here today. So if that is the right way, I will correct it in my upcoming journey.
Right. So you are taking the course, right? The diploma course. So what key concepts have you learned so far? Sorry, that.
Alright, so one key thing I've learned from this course is the ISOs that we have. I have also come to understand that safety is a core mandate, and that before you tackle any work at or on the field, there has to be a toolbox meeting to discuss the various hazards you might confront with along the line as you work in the mine or as you lay your hands on any task.
All right, thank you. Then your skills, stakeholder engagement, right?
Yes, please.
So describe three steps, right?
Yes, please.
You can engage your stakeholder.
Alright.
Strategy are going to use.
Alright.
Three steps.
So to engage stakeholders,
How we identify stakeholder?
Stakeholders are basically the people in authority in our community or in our society.
So proceed.
Alright, so with that, like I said earlier, there are people in authority or people in high office in our. That means that in our society, we also have other people who say, in quote, are ordinary people that their grievances, the despondencies that confront them must be channeled to the stakeholders. That would have to come down to the people who are living in the society to hear of the exact situation so that I can take that exact situation as the voice of the people to the stakeholders in that particular society.
So I say three steps.
Alright, so the first step is to gather my data from the people. The second step is to refine my data. The third step is to collate the data and report to the stakeholders in the society or in that very setting.
So how are we going to foster collaboration between the stakeholders?
Alright, so after taking the data from the people in the society, I take it to the stakeholders, I get the feedback from them, then I bring it back to the people. So to be in that manner so that at least both sides can be heard and both sides can be also fed with an update as far as the engagement is concerned.
So what indicator are you going to evaluate to check whether the engagement in the stakeholder is working?
Honorable Justice, can you please come clear with the indicators.
Metrics.
Can you please come clear with your question?
Indicators. What are you going to use to, or what are the signs you're going to use to evaluate whether your engagement with the stakeholder is working?
That is when the stakeholders need to our grievances, our rights, and begin to act on them, or give us a positive feedback. And not just a positive feedback, but on giving us the positive feedback, lay hands on the work and ensure that we see a progress in our with them. Yes, because once we see them act on whatever that we reported to them, I believe that is an indicator of progress. Or once they come out to address the issue, that is also another key indicator of progress as far as our engagement with them is concerned.
So, after the stakeholder engagement, what do you have there?
Media relations
And what?
and crisis communication.
So, how would you manage conflict, interests among groups?
All right, so we do say that every person has an interest. So, we would have to first understand why the conflict, what is fueling the conflict, why is there a conflict. On understanding the situation, I do believe that relevant steps will be put in place to ensure that that conflict is solved and solved in full.
What is your interest in vying for the vice president?
I don't have an interest.
Then what made you?
Let me say I don't have an interest because I have a vision. It is about the interest of the student body and not my interest.
So you don't think the vision can be your interest?
And so the vision can be an interest, but not my personal interest.
It's not your personal interest.
It is not my personal interest in regard that it's not just about me or not just because of me, but about the people we are making ourselves available and ready to say.
Okay, so audience, I don't want to start anyone today. Right.
Yes, Chair.
Under the education, I can see Imperial College of Mines and Safety.
Yes, please.
Advanced Diploma in Occupational Health and Safety.
Yes, please.
You said you'll be graduating next week Saturday.
Yes, please.
So I believe
Oh, yeah.
we've covered most of the topics under occupational health and safety.
Please, it was actually a short distance for, and so to cover both topics on occupational health and safety, I do not sincerely, in all humility, get you clear.
Okay, the key causes under health and safety.
All right, so we covered hazards.
It's okay. What is a risk?
A risk is a potential threat.
Potential
Threats.
threat.
Yes, please.
Issue.
Yes, please.
Kindly state the steps in risk control.
the chair sincerely, I can't give that often.
What is it?
Safety is taking into consideration the well-being of workers in a particular community or in a particular company.
And what is hazard?
Hazard refers to the potential threats that one is exposed to in the person's place of work or field of work.
You know hazard identification.
Yes, please.
What's hazard identification?
Hazard identification is basically the processes that one can, or the series of tests that one can actually go through to identify potential hazards in the course of work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you taught how to use the fire extinguisher?
No, please.
Do you know how to use it?
I have a little bit of knowledge about it, but I don't know how to use it.
Okay, so let me know the little knowledge you know about.
Alright, so I know of the push that once there is a fire outbreak, and instead of one would have to go through to bring the extinguisher. Like I said earlier, I don't have much information about it, and so the only thing I know about it is the first step is to push. Or sorry, the first step is to pull, right?
What?
The chair, I don't really know the exact name of that very thing. Like I said, I have a very little knowledge about it.
So under your leadership experience, you said you are the founder of the foundation.
Yes, please.
Right. So how would you respond if a media house published negative or misleading information about the foundation?
Alright, so should a media house report a negative information about the foundation, we would have to know particularly which media house is reporting that very negative information. And also, I believe that in our country, we have laws.
Audience.
And like in our country, we have laws that govern communication and the operation of media houses. So through the various bodies that regulates the operation of the media houses, we'll pass through the right channels to solve or to approach that very situation.
A minute, please. You don't.
Yes, please. Like I said earlier, we're in the country having laws governing the country, and we also have laws that govern the operation of media houses. So we would pass through the requisite procedures to tackle that very problem and not take the law into our own hands.
As a leader, will you be secretive?
Yes and no.
Why yes and why no?
The chair, the answer would be to the explanation of what you mean by the term secret.
Okay, let me give you. What do you understand by secretive?
Secretive is more or less like keeping things personal to yourself and not really bringing it out to public.
So why then you have this understanding? So why then you have this information?
Yes, I said that because if it's about my family and my personal life, I I do believe that certain sections have to be kept secretive.
You should have said this to him.
Sure, please.
Okay. Okay, so suppose you are asked to hide a fact from the public to avoid a panic, but it's ethically wrong. What will you do?
All right. To hide a fact, to avoid
I can't repeat myself again.
Yes, I'm answering the question. My humility. To hide the fact, to avoid panic amongst the people. Yet, that very fact I believe will be a threat to the people because it is going to avoid panic. And so I would have to approach the situation in a very nice way to avoid that panic by reason of giving them cautions as far as that very fact is concerned, so that they would know that all things are not, or we are not actually in normal times. However, they would have to abide by those cautions. You're welcome.
I'm moving forward to general knowledge question.
So this question is to any of you. So kindly tell us about ADG, and also any of the goals that is relevant to students. You don't need me to give the full meaning of the ADG. Hey, sorry. Did I mention? What did I mention?
ADG.
Sorry, SDG. And from your answers, I'm expecting you to be honest.
Right, so SDG simply means Sustainable Development Goal. And I don't really know the goals of health, but I know that section of the goals talks about environmental management.
And I also know there's a section that talks about students relating it to the environment and the rest. If you remember.
Yes, there's a section that talks about that. I don't really have the specific section of it.
Okay. So how many goals are there?
There are 13 or more. I don't really know.
There are more than 30. And there are 17. So in which year are the goals expected to be attained?
Twenty 2030.
2030. Okay. So which union proposed these goals? The goals related to a certain union.
The United Nations.
Okay. So let's come to Africa. There is a policy or an initiative that seeks to allow trade among African countries. Can you let us know that?
So that the policy is the Intercontinental African Trade.
That's not the right name.
Pan-African Trade.
I'm sorry. It's African Continental Free Trade Area. And can you tell us where its headquarters is located?
Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia.
I'm sorry. It's in Ghana here. Or audience, if you can confirm that for me, but you can confirm it and keep it for yourself. Or share it with us later. In Ghana here. Okay, I'll be back. Let's
This question goes to the Fred. What's the longest river in the world? The Fred said it goes to you. I didn't say it goes to your president.
Justice, please, I have no idea.
What's the capital for Australia? You can consult your president.
Canberra.
Thank you. Who is the first president of the United States? Who was the first president of the United States? The first.
It's George Washington.
George what?
Washington.
Okay. And in which year did the Second World War end?
19.
President. Said Sefred. Are you Sefred? Yes or no? Thank you. So please be quiet. We are not one here.
Right, so it was in 1945.
Okay, thank you. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? Hey, okay. I'm hearing some whispers, please. This one, if I see you or I hear you, my chair wouldn't do it. I'll do it myself. You walk out. Wait, not talking to the audience, please.
So please, William Shakespeare is the author for Romeo and Juliet.
Have you watched Harry Potter?
So please.
Please. Who is the author of 10th Fall Apart? I'm sure you know that. You heard about it.
Achibe.
What, please?
Chinwe Achibe, a Nigerian author.
Thank you.
Slowly.
And I know you watch Marvel movies. I know you watch Marvel movies. Which country won the 2022 FIFA World Cup? The president is not talking to you.
Argentina.
Yeah, Mr. Fred. Who's the Minister for Health?
Honorable Peter Akando.
So, Mr. President, who's the Minister for Local Governance and Relation Affairs? You proceed. Who's the Minister for Energy?
Honorable John Abu Chilambo.
Minister for Food and Agriculture. Mr. President, it's for you. I'll move to you.
Pass. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Vice President, please. Justice State is talking to the president, not you. If it's not you, don't talk to him. Please.
Yeah, so Mr. Perry. Who's the Minister for Trade and Industry?
Please, how many parts?
Who is the President for Burkina Faso?
Please, they currently don't really have a constitutional president, but then they have one captain who is Ibrahim Toure as their head of state. Ibrahim Traore, depending on their language, but I think it's Traore. I don't really know how they
Spell it for me.
Traore.
That's the spelling or they have some marks in the name of spelling.
It's a French country, so obviously there's a there's a forward accent on the last E.
The last with
E. Yes, please.
Get fine.
Ghana Education for Tertiary Fund.
Name two core of this function in Ghana education system.
Provide scholarship to needy students. Also help in supporting university.
So as a president, how could we leverage get fund access for the benefit of my students?
So you can leverage on get fund by lobbying for some of the things you provide, especially rebuilding halls of residences, buses, provision of buses, and you can lobby for their scholarship slots for the for the students of your university.
Alright, so the next question. What are the 10 largest contributors to Ghana's GDP? And approximate percentage share. Or you can name it.
So we have procurement, food, and agriculture.
Please come again.
Procurement, food, and agriculture.
So SRC will bring an innovation. That is, let's call it UMaT Innovation Hub. Building student-led startups and service. Leveraging strong industrial manpower with faculty in entrepreneurship now. How are we going to do that?
Please come again with the question.
You have generated you have a UMaT Innovation Hub that you are building students to startups in services. How are you going to leverage for strong industries to come and invest?
So the innovation hub, the members of the innovation hub are going to have to come up with an idea. The idea that is going to solve a problem, probably a nationwide problem or a global problem. And when you have such an idea and you build something upon the idea, that solves the problem. If we advertise it out there, so it will surely attract investors.
So my last question. What is Ghana's currency?
The CD,
What is CD?
Ghana CD,
What is the divisions?
Okay, so the division of the city, we have the points and then we have the roots.
No. You correct yourself. This one is for any of you.
So the division of the
Eliminations.
the denominations of the city.
Yes.
Okay, so the denomination of the city begin from the smallest, which is the 1 pesewa. Then you come to the 5 pesewas. Then you come to the 20 pesewas coin. You come to the 50 pesewas coin. Then you come to the 1 cedi coin, and we have a 1 cedi note as well. Come to the 2 cedis coin and the 2 cedis note. Then 5 cedis note, 10 cedis, 20 cedis note, 50 cedis, 100 cedis note, and 200 cedis.
We didn't say about the 5 states one.
I haven't seen anything like that.
I don't know there's something like that.
No.
So what is Ghana's recent inflation trend?
So Ghana's recent inflation trend is that inflation is down for the first time ever in the country history. It's down by 53%.
So you have become the president for this local institution. What are you going to do so that in case there is an depreciation in the Ghanaian cities, what are you going to do? Please proceed.
Yeah, so if the cedi depreciates, mostly economically, when the cedi mostly depreciates, the dollar appreciates. And in this scenario, prices of items are going to go high. As a result, even postal prices are going to go high. So we can advocate for a reduction in postal prices, as well as advertise in the reduction of some goods and services in our countries.
What goes into the advocating of the store prices? Is that what you said?
Yes. Advocating for the reduction.
The reduction, yeah, what goes into that?
So we get the retail manager to work. But once there's a depreciation in the city, they will by all means try to increase the price of their. If you are going to have a negotiation with them, that's okay. Please, we can get you to this to fill up your wisdom, but all we are going to need from you.
Alright, thank you.
After the budget has been accepted, the cedi is depreciate. What are you going to do?
So after the budget has been approved and the cedi depreciates, now why in every budget we include miscellaneous. Most budgets we include miscellaneous. That is the counter for unexpected events.
That's miscellaneous.
This miscellaneous amount is kept aside in the budget for for tackling extra costs and unexpected events that will happen.
What is the percentage indicates to that?
It depends. But financially, the 10% of the total budget is indicated for miscellaneous.
Your vice president, BOD.
So let's go back to there is a union, a regional union that seeks to advocate or advise its member states to operate borderless. Kindly tell us that union and then what are their aims of introducing that or advising that.
Please kindly elaborate.
So there is a union, a regional union that has member states or member countries, and in recent days, it the union seeks to advise its members to operate a borderless country. What is the union, and then what is the aim of that advocacy?
So the regional unions that are currently advocating for a border reform are two, as I know, the ECOWAS, which is the Economic Community of West African States, and which is that one. Even they are even advocating for a single currency, and then we have the Organization of African Union, of which they are also advocating for that same policy.
So for African Union, I know of that, but ECOWAS, for someone to travel to Togo, that person require a visa.
No.
So is ECOWAS, does ECOWAS have existing policies that deals about borderless countries, borderless member states?
Yes. So ECOWAS has a policy.
So that means ECOWAS has existing already.
Yes, but they've introduced a recent policy that seeks to encourage the transfer of goods and services across the borders without any hindrance.
So what is the impact of borderless ECOWAS states in your own assessment?
Borderless policy in ECOWAS has improved improved trade, and then it has increased it has boosted the economy of most of the previous.
What has these two unions, the ECOWAS and the EU, done to, or what have they done about the current or most recent insecurities in their various member states?
So they sent a military backup to state about issues. And with the recent situation in Togo, they've called Ibrahim Traore come to appear before the airport for a peace talk, of which he has refused.
Ibrahim Traore, Togo.
Burkina Faso.
So, what are some of the, or name some of the countries that form the Alliance of Sahel States?
Some of the countries that form the states.
Okay, there are not many, so all.
I only know of the Burkina Faso, Nigeria.
Okay, that's so it's left with Mali. Eh, you mentioned Niger,
Yes.
Burkina Faso, and Mali. So there are three to take note of that. So what do you understand by inflation?
Inflation is the sudden increase in prices of goods and services, which mostly occur when a currency decreases in the global market.
So what is the current inflation of Ghana?
Last time I checked, inflation in Ghana was down by 53%.
I'm not asking the percentage that it has gone down or risen. The current inflation. That's the gross inflation, not food inflation. Pardon? What do you say? I didn't hear what you said. Okay. So, recently there was a mid-year budget review in Ghana. Do you remember the dates that happened?
July
2023.
2025.
Okay, so what are some of the key points raised in the media budget review?
So some of the key points raised in the mid-year budget review was the revision of the no-fee policy stress, no-fee stress policy, and the indication of an amount of $18 billion US for construction of roads,
Are you sure of that number?
about
Okay, I also don't know, so I'll compare. So,
about 8.2 million
mhm.
US for the construction and interchanges.
That allocation, they name that program. Okay, so you want to get the exact figure you mentioned, or if you want to get the exact figure, the allocation for the program.
I don't really remember this actually. Remember it's around 30 to 30
Okay,
billion US dollars.
so the name of the program.
Don't really remember the name of the program.
Do you follow current affairs? And have you heard anything like the big push? Is that
Yeah, that's it. It's very good.
okay?
Mr. President, give you the microphone to your vice first. Do you think being a junior member is difficult?
Not necessarily.
Okay, yes or no?
No, and yes, depending on the situation and circumstance.
Come again.
No,
Do you think following being a junior member and also an SRC vice president will be more difficult?
no, please.
Why?
Because naturally I am a multitasking person. Taking my duty back in the SNES class, for example, deputy SRC general secretary, deputy boys prefect, class prefect, Pensa evangelism secretary, and also served as organizing secretary for SU.
Pause. You were the deputy SRC secretary.
General secretary
Where?
in the year 2021 in K State High School.
Okay, that means you were also a head boy, right?
Deputy head boy.
Okay. So before you assume the office as the head boy, give me one point that you noticed.
So before my administration, the administration that handed over to our
Make it brief.
alright, so the school had already undergone a demonstration. That's the first ever demonstration. Now core mandate was to institute discipline back to school. That's back to KUST senior high school. So
At
that
that time, you were normal students, right?
Yes.
Without-
yeah, by then
Okay, give me your solution to that demonstration.
alright, so during the maritime, we were without the headmistress, so the Assistant Regional Director of Education was our head. And this was what we did. We called for a student stakeholder engagement.
Did you get my question?
Can you please come again with your question?
Let's give the mic to your president. Mr. President, which of the current Ghana policy do you disagree with?
The T level.
Why?
This is because of although it is a 1 cedi tariff on each liter of fuel. Now, let's see that a driver buying about 100 liters of fuel, and then let's price 1 liter of fuel around 12 cedis. Now, another buying 100 liters of fuel is going to pay 1,200 Ghana cedis, which is going to be charged a tax of 120 Ghana cedis. Is too much compared to when we even had the E-level. Yes.
Okay. Give me one problem you think students are facing with respect to academics, and what accounts for that problem? Do you want help? Do you need help?
So one problem.
Did you get me? Do you need help with the question I asked you? Should I allow your vice president to help you?
Yes.
Okay. Is the vice president to help you? 5 seconds.
Okay, so one key problem that's
No. This is not the kind of help I want. Mr. President, can you multitask?
Yeah.
So can you be speaking what he's telling you while he's speaking? Can you do that? You can't, right? You listen to him, then after that you tell me.
One key policy, one key issue students are facing when it comes is the issue of being understanding the concept of the course. But in the class that I have, we are taking the course this semester.
So you have stated the problem, right? What accounts for that? Is it a problem of the university or a problem of the student?
It's, I think, problem of we the students, because mostly if the lecturer teaches.
Thank you. How do you intend as the SRC president to solve this problem?
So a peer-to-peer tutorial session.
How?
So with the peer-to-peer tutorial session, this is how we do it. We are currently running that system at UMaT.
How effective is it?
I can assure you it is 90% effective. Now, what we do with it, when you come to us and then you come to the academic board and then you tell them, okay, I'm facing issue here. Okay, maybe
What's your definition for success or something being successful?
to achieve a goal.
Have you attained the goal you want in what you are telling me right now?
Satisfactory, we have the satisfactory remark, but we haven't gotten there yet.
And what's delaying the goal? Is it that you are not giving it the needed energy or the funds or what? Should we move on?
So what is actually, the goal is not being delayed. The goal is not being delayed. But we haven't ended everything on that system we are running. So we cannot really talk. But so far, with the analysis we've had, the data we've collected so far.
Okay, thank you. as the SRC president, okay, how do you think in your capacity as the SRC president you can advocate for the students, and what article or what statement in the constitution gives you that mandate?
Article 4, that is that's the aims and objectives of them. The aims and the objectives of academic, social, cultural, and sporting activities in the university. Yes, so we can advocate for students through that policy. And once the SRC president,
Is your microphone not working? You see how I'm using mine?
once the SRC,
Yeah.
once the SRC president is the chief executive officer of the SRC, that means that you have, it is your responsibility to advocate for students anytime they have issues.
Are you done?
Yes.
Do you understand the word advocacy?
Yes. So advocacy means standing in between something to channel the needs and wants of a specific group of people, the major stakeholders for the institute for the problem to solve.
Are you done? Okay. Give me one policy the government of Ghana that concerns about students. Vice President, this time allow your president to take your time.
Please come and make the
Example of one successful student-led project in Ghana or policy.
example of the policy in Ghana which has benefited students.
How current are you? 1 to 5, which is low.
It's
Give me information.
the new fee stress policy.
Mr. Vice President, is that true?
Yes, please. And currently, the Ministry of Communication is also running a Codex program for students in IT.
Okay, aside that, give me another example of student policy.
Alright, so I'm not too much certain as to whether this is a policy, but there was a time I saw the Honorable Sam George Shatta go to some around to supervise IT innovative projects of students and
Yes.
awarded them in that regard. And I think it's a nationwide project that is currently ongoing.
Have you heard of the one student, one laptop policy?
Yes, please.
It was by which government?
It was by the NDC government.
Audience.
Yes, so it was by the NDC government.
How sure are you?
I'm pretty sure.
Where should I confirm your surety from?
It was under the administration of the President John Dramani Mahama.
You are lying. Let's move on. Mention any two, Mr. President. I'm done dealing with you, okay? Allow him to think, okay? Yeah. Mention any two national organization Ghana is part of.
national organization Ghana is
Yeah.
part of. Can you please come clearer? National organization Ghana is part of, or international organization Ghana is part of?
Should be two for it.
Ghana itself is a nation, so Ghana forming part of a national
So
organization.
for your understanding, give me my answer.
Right, so taking into consideration the international organization that Ghana forms a part of, we can talk of the United Nations organization. We can also talk of the African Union.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Who is the current UN General Secretary? Mr. Vice President. Hey.
How many parts? Please.
Okay, Mr. President's third part. Alright, so give the microphone to him. So who is the current UN General Secretary? So that means you heard of Antonio Guterres before.
No.
Come again.
I've heard of Antonio Guterres. Let's keep going.
Who was placed under Interpol Red Notice?
The former Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Yatan.
Give the microphone to the Vice President. Who was declared fugitive? Mr. Vice President,
Please, it was the same person who was declared
who is the
fugitive.
same person?
That's Honorable Kenneth Oyata.
Thank you. Not long ago, the finance minister went to parliament. What was the agenda?
Yes, he went to Parliament on the 29th of July 2025 to read the mid-year
You are
budget.
deviated. Thank you.
I only give the microphone to the president. Audience, what's your take on the free teachers policy? Audience,
So my take on the free exchange policy. The free exchange policy is a nice policy, but the free exchange policy is not a policy that with our current seats you can implement it. You can just come and just implement it once. It should be a progressive policy. So with the current system we had, we were achieving free education progressively. We made the basic schools free, and then gradually we were going to make the senior high schools free, because once the senior high school is going to be made free, that means you are going to have a lot of students. And most schools in Ghana lack the infrastructure for the free education policy.
thank you, give it. What's your take on the free teachers policy?
Alright, so like my president did say, it should be progressive, but I believe that it has also satisfied the right of the Ghanaian citizen, which is education being a right and not just a privilege. Thank you.
So, a story. Has there been free education in Ghana per history?
Yes, there have been free education.
Tell us about that. Was it tertiary, basic school, or high school?
In senior high schools.
And if you can add the
high schools in the northern part of the country?
In history. I'm relating this to your CV. Your CV, you said you are a historian. So, free teachers or free school. This one, I'm not saying specifically SHS University. Free school, has there been free education in history? And you can share with us the year and then the state of education.
There has been a free school policy, which for the basic and senior high school students, which happened in the northern parts of the country by non-educated form.
Okay. Have you heard of the UNDP?
Yes.
What is the full name of UNDP?
The United Nations Developmental Project.
Come again.
The United Nations Developmental Project.
It's the United Nations Development Program. What is the role of the UNDP?
The role of the UNDP is to bring up ideas, innovative ideas into reality.
That's my preference. What's the role of the UNDP?
Well, the UNDP it is to encourage young people who are from countries who are also members of the United Nations to bring out innovative ideas, generally to solve problems and also to build themselves.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was the Supreme Military Council?
Can you please come again?
I can't come again.
Can you please come clearer?
So the Supreme Military Council was during the time when the military took over the affairs of the country. So the Supreme Military Council was a government.
Can you state the year it took over?
So they took over. It took over in the year 1960 after they had overthrown the government of the.
Are you sure?
Sure.
So, Vice President, the running mate, sir. What year did they take over?
It took over in 1966.
1960.
Yes, please.
You're wrong. Because when you were speaking earlier, I made mention of Ramos and George.
Yes, please.
So they drew my attention to what What do you know about him currently?
So I know that Honorable Sam George Zata is an elder in Parish Chapel and is also the member of parliament for the Ngopra.
Okay, was he engaged in? Has he been engaged in any activity recently for the past 3 days?
Yes, please. He has been engaged in an activity. That is the reduction in DSTV prices. And again, he's also issuing the command that a command that to stop the showing of rituals on the various television stations.
Yes, anything about it.
And 30% and 10% reduction in DSTV prices.
And what's the days missing about it?
And DSTV so far so good has responded. We have issued this one that if they are not going to respond to the price increment,
Yeah, I should have not responded.
that was about 2 days. The last time I read about it was about 2 days ago.
Right, thank you very much. To analyze the rate of unemployment amongst the youth, I will attribute it to
Audience, I said I'm going to send anyone, so please comport yourselves.
okay, so I will attribute it to a large section of the youth waiting on the government for unemployment. I remember earlier I did say that a program would rather have to be put in place to ensure that the youth develop a skill to get into their own business and entrepreneurship stuff so that they can self-employ themselves to actually solve problems that we are facing as a country rather than developing wholly on the government for unemployment. That's how I can critically look at it.
So before you present to us your politics and innovation, I want to ask you a question personally. The running not fair. Running mates. So I sort of realized sometime with flights.
Yes, please.
You find for the SRC president.
Yes, please.
What's going on here? What am I seeing?
Right. Thank you very much, Justice. I've always said that leadership is not about self, but it is about the interest of the people you are making yourself ready to say. We came together after we realized that we have shared vision and policy for the school. Why don't I come together, contribute our vote, and get our ideas together to pursue what we've already started with, rather than running against ourselves when we are barely fighting for the very same policies and ideas that we have to solve the problems of the youth.
So who prepared the PowerPoint? Who prepared the PowerPoint?
Right, so everyone on the team prepare the PowerPoint.
Okay, Mr. President, kindly move forward and let the police and the
Benjamin, Motown. Vamos ver aqui.
the technical skills, Microsoft PowerPoint.
Vou manifest page. Vou manifest page. O nome é o Nipomia aí o Lucas. Olha nem se passa.
Thank you very much.
We have to 5 minutes.
Of the Ito pong bullying time. May nabongan. Nabongan 56. So this is going to be the presentation of mission and mission statements. Let me explain. Not a student voice, health and well-being, welfare and connectivity, entrepreneurship and skill development, transportation, entertainment and campus water, sport development, and technical transformation and support. These are this is the mission and mission statement. The mission statement of my policy, our policies and innovations, is to empower students through inclusive leadership, equity access to resources, and transformative opportunities, fostering academic, social, and personal growth. And this is to build a dynamic campus community where innovation, warfare, and academic success thrive in harmony. These are the policies. We have a policy on academic excellence, and we have a first policy to be the advocacy for the lecture hall. The conditions of the lecture hall. Once you realize that the ACs in the lecture halls aren't working, projectors are faulty, and sound, we don't have sound systems in the lecture halls, and then some of the furniture, so we have issues with them. Now, the second policy here is the empowering the SRC tutorials, offer a free, high quality tutorials with skill tutors and digital support. The third policy under our academic is the academic empowerment workshops. That's most high skill development workshop beyond classroom learning. Continuation of academic policies, that's the intention to connect. That's how with companies to provide internship slots for our students. The final year project supports. That is support innovative final year research project with experts in various fields of study and support in the preparation of their documents. That's so we come to the innovations under our academic. That's the study abroad partnership. Creating a global exchange program. Steady now.
With intention. This is.
Thank you very much. Because of my age, I will come to where the right answer. The next point is definitely student voice. They talk about the mental framework. We come to realize that on several occasions, a particular exercise training starts a project is not able to complete the project, leaves, and the next administration wants to continue the project. So with this developmental framework, we are going to start substantial projects like SRC hostel facility and SRC lecture club. We will actually have a setup plan for it. If you are not able to actually complete, which you know that the 8 months will be enough to complete it, subsequent SRC administration will be forced to actually continue with it by reason of setting out a policy. A section of the SRC plan to be geared towards completing that very project. And the next one is the public opinion of the people, or the public opinion portal. We also have systems where students will send in their concerns, grievances, exigencies, confronting them, responses, confronting them. Not for ourselves. The next part is that's the innovation, which is the digital campus access. Yeah, so the digital campus access is actually going to be an e-card that we're using to get feedback from the students. Alright, so the next point is the health and well-being of the students. The policies are the SRC many conversations. This has been a heartache and a heart-long desire. Our clinic, so that certain jobs will be made available at our clinics when the students see the claim on ill basis, the students will not have to write down some tracks or medicines for them to be bought at the over the counter. Rather, you have to ready there so that if in case it's even an emergency, going to buy the drugs will not escalate the situation. So you will have them ready there available for the first lady. The next one is the health insurance scheme, ensuring that the health insurance scheme is well enforced on our families to cater for some expenses that comes in our health care. The next part is health seminars. Having health seminars or health education on campus inform us on various health issues. And the next part is the sanitary part initiative. That's available for our youth. We have you at that. And we have you in there. We will make sure that we have a bank for you, which is a sanitary part initiative bank, so that you will be able to also prioritize your health as far as keeping your health concerned. Now, again, we also have the warfare and connectivity. We are saying that we are going to have the direct data increments and
Your parents, sir. Thank you. You have this document. Let's for them. Tell me about you. Vision.
Okay, so my vision is creating a conducive environment such that every student voice is heard, every student problem
Is
is
this
solved.
what you are saying from your documents here?
Not exactly as what I'm saying, but it aligns with what I'm saying.
Make sure it's aligned.
Yes, so that form a student inclusive governance.
That's what's the mission or the vision.
That's the mission statement.
What about the vision?
Building an environment whereby people concerns are going to be taken into consideration.
Right. So in the mission statement, I'm thinking when we are presenting, I had equity access. The mission statement to empower students to be inclusive. You can open this now. Inclusive leadership. It's about it. Okay. Okay. So are you talking about equity to access or equality to access?
Equitable access.
What is equity?
Equity simply means something for
What is equality?
so equality is everyone having a say share.
Okay, so let's go to your policies. Are we there? Under governance and students' voice. Are we there?
Yes.
So when Sefred was presenting, you were presenting, you made mention of the current SRC starting a project and the other coming not to complete that project.
Yes,
Has there been that scenario on our campus?
yes, please.
What was that?
Even before I came to this very institution, I heard that there was one SRC administration that came to declare where we are using as a sports complex. It used to be a canteen place, so they took them to their current place and wanted to use that place as a sports complex. They weren't able to do it. Under the administration of Mr. Frimpong Emmanuel, he came to clear the place in that same manner and he wasn't able to do it. Now, our current SRC is having a sports complex at that very place. They started with a basketball court, and I do not really know if they will be able to complete it. And I believe that the school field too is there, and I don't even know if the basketball as well as a multi-purpose basketball court. So if they are unable to complete that project, we will have to actually continue with it. So these are the very scenarios that we
Before
talk about.
performance issue, aside that, have there been any other issue?
Yes, please.
Tell me what it is. Say your vice president, please.
All right, so it's about that same very football pitch that you're talking about under the administration of His Excellency John Bagri, who handed over to, I believe, His Excellency was Ike. He also had that very intention to have the place be a sports complex, and that wasn't also seen. Yeah, so these are some of the scenarios that our campus have gone through.
What do you personally know about that project?
All right, so personally, my knowledge about that very project was that that very area.
Wait, give the mic to your president. To tell me, what do you personally know about that project?
The basketball court project.
Yes.
Basketball court project.
Yes.
So the basketball court project was a project that I, as the JCR president, envisioned. So we started making preparations towards the project.
All right. Thank you.
So, the documented opinions of the people of UMaT SRID. So I assume this document was put together by students or us.
So the reason why we've titled it the documented opinion of the people of UMaT SRID is because the exact policies in this book here was formed as a result of consultations from the general student population.
So in that consultation, what was your sample space? What was your sample space?
So using transportation as an example, out of about 2,900 students, undergraduate students we have on this campus, about 2,600 of them complain bitterly about our current transportation, which is the family.
So what was the medium used to get the feedback?
So the medium we used was mainly in-person conversations.
So how was your record taking? 2,000, that's a lot.
Yeah, right.
You move around, you take paper, you take, or you had a time.
So we used to take. Okay, today I met about 5 people today. I spoke to them about the fundamental. They said, the way the fundamental we don't want it.
Intake. So can you provide us that?
No, we don't have the paper here.
So when can you provide it? We are requesting for it. So after the vetting, can you read?
Yes.
2,000 people. Try to be honest to us. Is the person who made that comment, is it related to your campaign? The person who said is going to take the paper, is it really related to your campaign? Are you an associate of that person? Who? A guy just spoke out. Ah, okay.
I didn't see him.
Okay. So your first policy, advocate for lecture halls upgrade. Then the second, improve lecture halls with fan, AC, projector. So let's talk about the AC. So about the AC, I learned from my consultation. I learned the ACs in the class, all the classes are functional, but they are up for a different reason. do you know, have you assessed that reason? Have you consulted on that?
Yes, not all the ACs are functional, although some are fully functional, some are also faulty. Now, I remember very well when I came to this school in my first year, they used to turn the AC on. And by the time I got to second year, we weren't getting to fill the AC. It was a result of but sometimes students will turn the AC on and then leave it, which drive too much current and it has a best spot to the university. So they decided if that's going to be the case, then they are going to disconnect it.
So, what will be your advocacy? Is it about them making more purchases, or how are you going about your advocacy for the AC?
Right, so this is how you're going to advocate for the ACs, like my president DC or my runway DC. Some of the ACs are functional, while others are not functional. And the situation is that students turn the AC on, and when they're in various lecture rooms, they put it off, and so the cost that the university is incurring is above us for us to actually cater for. And so this is how you're going to advocate for the whole situation. You're going to engage with management and speak with them that the ACs become functional once again. And after every class, say after school closes by 6:30, as usual, the security will come around and ensure that all ACs are being turned off. Again, we will also meet with all courses and make them aware that before they vacate any classroom, it's take a time to ensure that if there's another class, they can leave it off for the other class to come in. If they're not too sure as to whether that class will come in, they should consult that course who is in that very class. If they're coming in, they will come and take over. But if they're not coming in, they would have to actually turn off the AC before they exit the classroom. I think that will cost that will be incurring as far as anything is concerned in Nigeria. Because we pay for bills on our campus. We cannot just deny this very facility. Thank you.
So let's get to the final year project support. What will be a source of funding for that policy?
Right, I'm not sure that that's actually going to be a huge cost to talk of, because one thing that we are only saying is that we are going to support them in printing of their documents.
Okay. So what will be the source of funding?
Right, so the SRC ambition to also have a press. We are wishing to have a press, so by reason of that press, we are going to use that very means to cater for that very fund or that very.
And therefore, what is the source of funding?
From the SRC topics.
Okay. So, with all your policies, which one can you relate to being a source of IGF for the SRC?
All right, so the transport system is going to be a source of IGF for the SRC.
How? Because so I thought that policy is being introduced to make students less burden.
Yes.
Okay, so how is it going to make? How are you going to make profit on that?
Okay. So looking at the current president of the Railway Junior, and then we have the Family Transport System, which functions within the railway hall. Now, with what I've observed about the Family Transport System is that every single day we earn about 900 Ghana cedis in profits, deducting about just 300 Ghana cedis in fuel from it. That means that they get about 600 Ghana cedis in profit, of which even the 600 cedis, they don't give them more anything because the bus doesn't belong to us, it belongs to them. So over here in the SRC shuttle service, we are saying that why don't we get the bus, get our own bus, then run the system at our convenience, then the money that will be generated would serve as internally generated funds for the SRC.
To the transport policy, I've seen, is it going to be, are you going to buy a bus?
Yes. So this is how we are going to provide the bus.
Okay.
Now, parents in the UMaT SRC is supposed to get about 1.1 to 1.2 million Ghana cedis in the SRC pocket. Now, with the bank that we keep our money there, the bank they also use our money for their business.
Is the figure
About 1.1, 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Now, with the bank that we save our money there, we can go to the bank and tell them, just as it was done in TTU about 9 years ago. Okay, Mr. Bank, we trade with you. We want you to help us. So we want you to help us to procure a bus, and then we are going to pay it over time. Okay, and then because we save our money with you, you have to minimize the interest rate. Else we are not going to save our money there. And then the bank also wanting business will surely give you the money to procure the bus. Then you are going to pay it over time, which will be part of the SRC developmental framework.
So with your figure 1.1 million Ghana cedis, where is that figure from?
So 1.1 million Ghana cedis is when you calculate the number of students, with the level of students here, times the amount you pay in SRC. That's the amount.
So have you confirmed whether the amount you paid is the amount released to every administration?
I'm saying that.
But have you made inquiries on the amounts being released? Because there's an assumption that that's what we pay, but you don't release the exact figure. Have you heard of anything like that?
Yes, we've heard of some.
Okay. So then from there, it seems you know the school fees breakdown, the breakdown of the fees.
We want to pay because we tried finding information, but with the current result and with the current student information portal we have, that isn't accessible. But we have a fair idea.
Okay, so with your fair idea, which of the breakdown do you think is? Which of them do you think is not serving its purpose, and what will be your advocacy?
So in the breakdown, I see students pay an amount of money to transportation covers. I see what we call the SRC fund. I see that we also have the SRC scholarship fund. Let me talk about the daily fund because the scholarship fund always serves its purpose. The daily fund, per the name, must be used to cater for the needs of the students. I believe that we can have a food bank initiative where we use the money that students pay to the SRC fund to procure foodstuffs. So that at the middle of the semester, we make those foods available on request. So students would have to request for foodstuffs. As students would have to request for foodstuffs. We make provisions of those foodstuffs to them for free because it is an amount that they've already paid into the SRC fund. This is a new thing. Tech is already doing it, and I believe that we can. Even the departments are doing it, and we are paying the amount of money into our SRC fund. So just use that money, procure foodstuffs, get them there. Middle of the semester, when students are hungry, we ask them to apply to the SRC.
In my view, I feel student leaders have to advocate for removal. Do you share the same view with me?
Removal of
those fees that don't have direct impact on us.
I do not believe that we should advocate for the removal of that fee. I rather advocate that we make sure that those monies serve their purposes.
Mr. Vice President, what's your contribution to this document?
Right, so like I said earlier, this document is a combined vision. I realize that most of the visions are actually the same and similar. So this very document that we have here is based on the various
documents.
So this document that we have here is based on the various findings that my president and I actually had from the students, and the vision that we have
in front of me is a document of which in champion.
Yes, please.
By in which a champion communications bureau, not
Hassan Frederick and Inti Echampo.
Yes, please.
So come clear.
Alright, so he is the front runner of the entire movement. If I gave him that very respect to have it in his name, give it
So
to
if you agree with so was for him, not for both of you.
Justice. We are actually running on a ticket. And the ticket is Inti Echampo Richard as SRC
Did
president.
you hear yourself? Inti
Inti Echampo Richard as the SRC president. And
Yeah.
ticket.
Yeah. Mr. President, the rules. Why? In case you are voted into power, what will be the name of your administration? Mr. President. Vice President, let's go.
Inti Assam-led administration.
So why is this document not in the Assam policy document, but in the Richard Echampo policy document?
Alright, so the document is from the Communication Bureau. And I am a member of the team.
Thank you.
And so I mean,
By the document is from Inti Echampo Communications Bureau.
yes,
So come again with your submission.
and as a member of the team,
Two.
as a member of the Richard Inti Echampo Communication
So
Bureau,
right now you are not a running mate, but a member of the Communication Bureau.
we are all members of that bureau because
Yes
we
or
share
no?
that
Yes or
position.
no?
Please, I am a member, and I'm a running mate.
Keep standing, okay? Okay, so Mr. Hassan,
Yes, please.
in total, let me see the document in front of you. No. Put that one there. The one in front of you. The one that the pen is on. Yes. Are you tense? Should you go for a quick break?
Oh no, we are
Okay, so turn it. Okay, so in total, how many policies do you have in this document?
Alright, thank you very much, Justice. I actually do not have.
Honorable. If you know it, you know. If you don't know, you don't know.
Please, I don't know, but the details of the policies I know.
Don't know. Okay, now take the policy document. Open to page 8 of the policy document.
Justice, very sorry, we didn't actually add it.
Sorry for not numbering your policies and vision document.
Yes, please.
What's the total membership of the Communications Bureau?
This we are 7-member committee.
7-member committee, and no one noticed that we didn't number the policy document. Not even the historian. Oh. Okay, in total, how many innovations do you have? Down to you don't know.
Yes, please.
Let's take it one by one, okay? So, opening to. Delete numbers, right? You open to page 2. Read what's on page 2 for me.
Please, are we on the same page as governance and student voice?
No, okay. So that's the page 2.
Yes, please.
Okay. So my page 3 is mission statement and vision statement. So read it. Idea.
Yes, please.
Okay, then close the document again. Okay, you are memorizing. What's your point on the academic excellence?
Alright, so my policy was the lecture hall upgrade and the stadium board policy.
Tell me about it.
Alright, so the lecture hall upgrade was ensuring that the air conditioners and the fans are actually in operation, and also we have efficient or a good number of furniture to avoid students standing up during lecture hours, and also the study abroad
Did
policy.
you say something about furniture?
Yes, please.
The lecture halls are already like there are no space there. So where are you going to put those furniture?
So this is how you're going to tell
And
me.
even right now, some of the lecture halls we have iron rods linking them. That means you can't take them outside or anything.
Yes, please. That
So which
means that,
furniture are you talking about?
that means that before a class can schedule a particular lecture room, their class or their number size must
Besides the you can sit down. Come again.
So before a class can be scheduled for a particular lecture room, their class number must be taken into consideration, because you can't keep a class like my class.
Thank you. Give the microphone to your president. Mr. President, under innovations, academic excellence, study abroad partnership, create global exchange programs through partner institutions. Is this something you have already started, or when you have voted into power, then you start?
It is something we have already started.
And what are some of the partner institutions?
Study now.
Tell me about the study now.
So the study now is an academic institution, which for them they only deal in awarding and linking students to offer mainly offer graduate courses abroad. So these are some of the reasons we seek offer to our students.
Say something like this one. What's this one for? This one. In your submission.
The study abroad policy.
Okay.
This policy
I done explaining.
I explained, but you told me to come back. And then you said you had this one.
So, can you point out any beneficiary of this study abroad partnership in this school? Or
So we've now launched the study abroad partnership. Now the actual this one of the actual implementation of the study abroad partnership will happen during the whole week celebration, of which on the very first day we are going to have an academic seminar.
look at the documents, then continue with your submission.
Of which on the very first day we are going to have an academic seminar, which will feature an academic exchange program with study now.
It will be an exchange program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Under governance and students' voice. Hey, Vice President, close the document. You said you prepared it, right? That means everything is in your head. And you are sitting beside a historian. So you are fine, you keep, right? You're fine. You're cool. You can see some water. You're okay. What's your innovation under governance and student voice? Mr. Vice President.
The digital card is access.
Okay, that's true. Have you heard of the SWOT analysis?
Yes.
So, what is the weakness of your policies and innovation document? Mr. Vice President. Okay, give the microphone to Mr. Vice President. Hey, Vice President. Okay, so answer me.
Alright, so to this point, we do not have any weakness associated with
So, what's your weakness at Mr. Frederick?
Alright, so I identify my weakness when I'm being faced with challenges on the spot.
So, you as a human being have weakness, but the document don't have weakness.
So the documents and the test of time, we can't
You have,
examine the
come again.
until the documents and the
Do you have temperament?
so please.
Do you know temperament?
Yes,
What's a temperament?
just talks about our personal ways of reacting to situations.
I should be lying.
So please.
Click your policy document. Another warfare and connectivity. Safe learning time, please. Ensure CCM classes are conducted online for safety reasons. Have you seen that?
Yes, please.
How will you implement that policy?
So with that policy, we are going to negotiate with the school's academic unit for us to have all our 6 a.m. classes online due to the fact that if someone is coming from a hostel like Dixie Hostel, the person has a 6 a.m. class, that means the person has to set up probably around 4, of which the person sets up around 4 from Vijay through to Esikado. I cannot guarantee the person's safety on the road. So why would I support for the person to leave that place at that time? Of which that's not going to be helpful, because if anything happens to that person over there, we will not be able to account for it.
Please come again.
Now, the 6 a.m. class is going to be implemented in the school. We are going to negotiate with the school's academic unit to help to let us have the 6 a.m. class, all the 6 a.m. classes online. Because if let's say a student is coming from BU to Chicago and the person has a 6 a.m. class, BU to Chicago is mostly a 45 minutes walk. That means the person is going to have to set up around 5 o'clock. Now, from BU, working from BU to campus, I cannot guarantee the safety of the individual from BU to campus. So if anything happens to that individual, we will not be able to account for it. So why would we let them set up at dawn to come when we know that in Tampere, security is a challenge?
Sure, are you that you get a positive feedback on the negotiation?
We have started conversations with them, and with what we are gearing towards, we are hopeful we'll get positive feedback.
So if you don't read the election, that policy going to work.
Through the person that will win the election.
Now see, 1 year and 20 years.
Oh no.
So how are you going to make sure that all these policies are being implemented?
Okay, so you're going to make sure that the policies are being implemented by using the development framework, which I call the industrial plan. The ones that are very contingent for us to do in our office or in our tenant office, to make sure that we do those ones. All the others that would have to given an extension to other SRC administrations will be tackled after we hand over to the next SRC administration.
So convince her.
All right, an example is the SRC charter, which would make the students be aware that we will surely procure an SRC charter coming this academic year. So we are going to procure the charter. Other administrations are going to benefit of the charter. And we also have the mini pharmacy. We will give it a startup, ensuring that we have some medications at the various levels, some medications made available there. And in this very framework, we will have a plan that years to come, we should have what we call SRC pharmacy, and not just a section of the clinic that will be used for the pharmacy.
Under your welfare and connectivity, campus Wi-Fi office, right? How are you going to do that?
So with the campus Wi-Fi, we realize that with the current Wi-Fi system we have on our campus, it's very, very bad. Because when you are connected to the campus Wi-Fi and you open WhatsApp, you can't even load statuses. So with the campus Wi-Fi bridge, we are going to look for it to be implemented Starlink on our campus, just as it is being done at the FMLT block in Tapa, which will boost the connectivity.
I do know that this current administration is working on a project. I don't understand it.
That is an inferior
You want to say something? You want to.
I will say that that is at our various hostels, and even now, a burden is being put on them to cater for the cost of the styling. Why don't you bring it on campus so the amount we pay as part of the school fees cater for that cost, leave that burden on the students, and rather change towards increasing the Gannett data set for the students as well.
So please give it presidential candidate. So I noticed the hall is also facing similar problem with internet connectivity.
Yes.
So under administration, what have you done to
The whole the activity range within the hall is that if I propose we centralize the entire Wi-Fi system into a unique Wi-Fi system. Because if initially we had SE5, SRID, but right now anywhere you are on campus, you can see that it's just one single Wi-Fi. And then we've added one access point Wi-Fi in front of the hall. So the boundary is, it goes out to the corridors of the hall, and then there are a few rooms that are closer to the Wi-Fi because of the usage of the Wi-Fi. Because last year we tried taking it into the rooms, and then within just about 2 hours, students were using almost about 15 gigabytes of data from the usage. So we decided if that will be the case, then we will not extend it to the room because some of the students will use it to download games and other stuff.
So this Mana,
Please, if you do this again, you go out.
so the Gannett sim, we just suggest. Please change it from Vodafone to MTN. We beg. Vodafone to MTN.
Yeah, that's the plan. We actually change it from Vodafone to MTN because even at UCC they pay less for the net and they still get 10 gigabytes of data every month on their own personal SIM. And in UMaT we pay 207 cities for that and we get about 2.5 gigabytes of data, which isn't fair at all.
So as the president under administration, how are you going to ensure effective coordination among all the arms of the SRC?
So through the separation of powers, in the act of rule of law, we are going to make sure that the administration is going to be run smoothly by coordinating with the various arms of the SRC government, both as well and inclusivity, net inclusivity.
So describe to us how that coordination, how you intend to implement your coordination process.
The arms will be made to work independently, and then check and balances are going to be check and balances are going to run to ensure smooth coordination. Please come again.
Inter-organ coordination, not separation of powers. Inter-organ coordination, how do you ensure all executives relate well with the judiciary, the house?
So I think that could be mainly achieved through effective communication.
So in the event of dispute between two arms of the SRC, how do you go about that? Or I should give a scenario.
Give a scenario.
So in a situation where the LA rejects your budget, and then there's back and forth between the executive committee or executive council and then the LA.
So if the LD rejects a budget, the speaker, constitutionally, the speaker is to provide a report on the reasons why the budget was rejected and how the votes on the budget went. So with those reasons why the budget was rejected, we brought to the executive council. They will work on it properly. Then we send it back to the LD again.
So, what will you do when one organ abandons its works because you are not motivating them?
Please come again with the question.
What will be your reaction or your response when an organ of the SRC abandons its works because there's no motivation?
So we are going to encourage them that they are here because of students' interest, and that should be their core mandate. And while we work on motivating them,
Your vice president who sees your policy live on air, what will you do? What will be your reaction?
first reaction is to remain calm and then have a private conversation.
What if he leaves more disagreements? He leaves more disagreements.
It's more
He leaves.
disagreement.
Yeah.
Before any policy would even come out, we are going to have tough discussions with ourselves. So I believe when we have discussions with ourselves and the policy now comes out there, then we need to stretch form of argument.
Issue.
Yes.
Let's move on. According to views fund mismanagement during your tenure of office, what will be your response? Will you resign?
No.
Why?
Because if I haven't mismanaged funds and audit says there's fund mismanagement, the report is going to be brought. Then we are going to go thoroughly into the report to see if indeed. But if I haven't mismanaged any funds, we are going to have to clarify that.
In this case, you mismanaged. Will you resign?
I wouldn't mismanage funds.
If for example, I'm giving you have mismanaged funds, will you resign?
Mismanagement is not part of my values.
Don't assume.
You are celebrating an SRC week. You have to choose between food bazaar and artist nights. With limited fund. Which one will you choose? Why?
Because food bazaar is we are sharing food. And giving someone food, you are giving the person life. Now, in the case of an artist night, the artist will come and stand. The artist will come, charge you a higher amount of money, stand on a stage that you have rented with a lot of money, and perform for some few minutes and just go away.
But you know that the activity that you can use to generate funds.
You can use the artist night to generate funds, but
Do you know that yes or no?
yes.
I think you.
How?
For now, you can use the artist night to generate funds if the study campus had a place, a very large one. Because if you are having an artist night, you are going to have a larger audience. That's going to be the case. But in this case, on the study campus, the mini auditorium cannot host an artist night. And once you are holding an artisanal, which is SRC sponsored, that means it should be free for all students. So you cannot have an artisanal elsewhere. It should always be on campus. And students should need to enjoy the artisanal for free. If they are outsiders that would wish to come, that's going to be fine. They are going to pay, which is going to generate. But as with our current situation, we can't have an artisan that you will charge. It should be free.
So, how will we address accessibility challenges faced by students with disabilities in UMaT?
Justice, what accessibility challenge specifically?
Like, what should, yes.
Okay, so for physically challenged people, such like someone who can't walk, the
You
person
know the definition for disability, yes.
for the physically challenged, just as we have actually way or
So, what if the management say no? What are you going to do? It's really a next step.
constitutionally, the government, the constitution states that we are to make provisions.
What constitution?
The Ghana Constitution, the Disability Act. The Disability Act says that we are to make provisions for physically challenged individuals.
Where, what acts from the disability?
Act. What act is there?
Yes, please.
Act 715.
So, the next question. If you have declared a strike tomorrow, what will be your first 5 steps as SRC president? Get your mind.
Alright, so if you target to declare a strike, we are just one university. But yeah, other universities that form the USA, that's the University Students Association of Ghana, and all students who fall under the National Union of Ghanaian Students. I believe that when those working at is very issue, their voice will go for as compared to our individual SRCs.
Yeah. SRC president, what are you going to do to help the students?
Get in touch with other SRC presidents, speak advocacy to the NUGS and the SRC presidents, and they will take it from there. But we can't actually approach
I
the.
know that you being SRC president here is not only here.
Yes, please.
You
So,
speak to the students beyond here. You know that. Yes or no?
we are
Yes or no?
no,
I know.
because the SRC that we are running here is the scheduled SRC. This is an extension of the UMaT SRC. So here we speak of students of the schedule and not beyond.
Okay. So my final question. How does the Cash Collectors Act of Ghana relate to SRC financial management?
Alright, so per the Tax Collection Act, it encourages that no officer takes money from students or takes a physical cash from students. And so they have to be a designated bank account where all money shall be channeled to.
Why do we do that? What the essence of that?
Accountability. Ensuring that stakeholders within the SRC or officers within the SRC account for any person that enters into the SRC compared or that the SRC comes in touch with.
So what if it is discovered that an authorized person is connecting 8,000 things? What will we do?
The person will be paid to face sanctions as according to the statutes of the university.
And what's are the punishment?
The person shall be given an ultimatum to pay that very amount. And again, the person can be
If that happens, it will warrant an investigation. And necessary actions are going to be taken. And necessary actions are going to be taken depending on the reports of the investigation.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Fred, what we said concerning the cash collecting act, where in the cash collecting act is what we said.
right. So the act is at 003 of the UMaT itself.
In the cash collecting act. This is the act in the cash collecting act.
Yes, what I said is the cash collection act.
Repeat what you said earlier, please.
I did say that the Cash Collection Act encourages that no officer of the
So you stated that and it's in the cash collecting act.
yes,
So where is that in the cash collecting act?
in relation to SRC. In relation to SRC funds.
The first page.
Yes, please.
Yes, information. No, Mr. Fred,
Yes, please.
this is not only to your presidents to go you two are in a situation where receipts go missing. You are being told about it, but receipts are missing. The administration. These are the steps what I go through. Why I
So first of all, every receipt should have copies. But in case the original receipts and then the copies get missing, we are going to have to contact the place we made the purchase from, because they are also going to have a carbon copy of the receipt. And then they are going to issue another receipt for us.
Is that all?
Okay.
That's what we are going to do as the SRC president.
Yes.
Right. So, you tell me, what's the risk in operating in SRC finances? When operating in finances, okay, and you are solely operating in cash, tell me the risk associated with this.
The risk associated with this is money. The main risk associated with this is money getting missing.
It's not the main risk.
And
That's
money,
not very we want to speak. I
money,
think the man can speak.
money is not accounted for.
Just the two.
Yes.
There's as the president. Are you going to give me more or it's just the two? Just the two. Right. Move on. Give me the key documents that should be available during an SRC in our audit.
So receipts and invoices.
Before you answer this question, what's auditing? Auditing.
What is auditing?
Yeah.
So auditing is a cross check made, auditing the cross check made to actually,
So auditing is a forensic project that is made to ensure that every single amount of money is being accounted for and used for a designated purpose.
So you will give me the difference between petty cash book and ledger.
A petty cash book and a
Ledger. Let's spell it. You're okay.
so with petty cash book, it is used to take records of transactions made which you can't get everything from. Let's assume we want to buy pepper from a pepper seller. The pepper seller in the market doesn't issue everything. So that one, those ones are going to be written in petty cash book. But with a ledger, every single mega transaction that's going to be made should be written in the ledger.
So you are accused of being autocratic. What do you do?
The Constitution of our Republic, of which our school's Constitution and the SRC Constitution is subject to, does not permit autocracy. Therefore, one is not allowed to be autocratic.
I said you are accused of being autocratic. What do you do?
So, the accusations we see are part of leadership. We are going to take it into consideration. Maybe it might be something you have done, I have done, but I haven't noticed, and someone has noticed the person. Based on that, the person is saying, I'm being autocratic. So I'll take that into consideration and I'll work on that.
Okay, so I'd like you to differentiate between a receipt and an invoice. Please.
So a receipt is a record of an amount paid for something, and an invoice is also a record of an amount mostly which is yet an amount which is yet to be paid. But you need a breakdown, or if you need a breakdown of the thing you want to buy, that's when invoices come in. So invoices and receipts, invoices are like prepayment, and then receipts are post payments.
Okay, so can you differentiate between pre-finances and then certificates in appropriation of finance?
So pre-finances are money that are being spent before a budget is approved, of which will be part of the budget that we sent to approve. And the second one is certificates.
In advance of appropriation.
Can you please break it down?
I think that understanding is also part of the rate. Or you didn't hear of certificate in advance of appropriation.
So it's in advance of appropriation, you get all necessary certificates for items purchased, which are also going to be key in defending the pre-finance.
It's somewhat related, but I encourage you to read more on it. Yes. Okay, so what is the Article 2 of the SRC Constitution about?
The supremacy of the Constitution.
So do you believe the constitution of the SRC, the supreme law in the school?
Yes. No, not in the school. The constitution of the SRC is the supreme law in governing the student body. That's when it comes to student affairs.
Okay, so what will you do when you find out your treasurer breaches the constitution, or there is misappropriation of funds?
So when there is misappropriation of funds, I believe that should trigger an investigation. And based on the investigations, it should be forwarded to the judicial committee for the appropriate sanction.
Okay, so let's say something. What will you rate the current administration? Percentage.
Thank you very much for the question. So the current administration is serving the entire student population. And I believe that a rating can only be done by a good number or a good sample of the entire students. I cannot just sit here rate them.
In your view, I know students are supposed to rate and you are one. So in your view, can you rate them for me? You know, opinion. Everyone has his own opinion. So your opinion.
Mr. Fred, he's asking in your opinion, not your president's opinion, in your view.
So in my view, I'll give them satisfaction.
Percentage, please.
I'll give them a 65.
A 65%.
Yes, the administration is not yet done. So I believe that by the time the administration is done, all other
So
projects will be done.
Please, therefore, to my you give them only 60. 60 words.
It's 65 to 70.
Please be specific.
Let's give them a 65 and
Not
tell them
less. Who are you?
65. So the basketball project is being done. I give them 85.
And you.
Oh.
65.
If I.
Yes.
And then rate your own renewable administration.
I hope you have
Yes.
a 70.
Right, separate.
Yes. I'm gonna look at my president.
70. Why?
Because I believe that one very key problem that various rural administrations wanted to solve was the situation at the canteen. And now you can see the students there. They're really free.
The current administration said you give them a 65. You give them a 65, right?
It's with respect to this administration. I think that with respect to the SRC administration, and the recent question was with respect to the TCR administration.
You can ask respect.
Please.
To give them a 65, right?
Yes, please.
So, do you know of any policy or anything they've done that would make you recommend them?
Alright, so I would recommend them for the
president. Yes. When I ask the president, you answer and you stand up.
Right, so I would recommend them for the street lights they've done and also for the ongoing basketball project.
Good. And let me draw your attention to this. One other thing they've done to help in is giving what do we call it? Helping other students in paying their fees. Do you know of anything like that? Have you heard of anything like that?
I am aware of the SRC scholarship scheme, but aside that, which was done by the INC, I'm not so much aware of something helping students pay their scholarship scheme. I believe it does not come to the notice of the students. So I'm not so much aware of that.
You're not aware of it.
Yes,
So
please.
then I'm telling you about it.
Okay, please.
So what percentage will you rate them now?
You just told me, I believe that every
It's true. To what percentage will you rate them now?
please, you are saying it is true. You think they have seen it. I can testify that it's true. With the basketball project, still ongoing, and I can testify it is true.
And I am here, I'm testifying. I am a basketball. To which percentage it is done by your supervisor.
Alright, so that's actually a testament of what you said. I'm not saying that I cannot conclude.
Yes, but I can give them evidence right now.
Sure. With that, I'll be able to give them a higher rating.
Yeah, apply to me.
So, what do you consider some previous achievements as the role of this president?
My biggest achievement as role of we haven't done it yet. We've now put about it up. Hopefully by the day.
So is there an achievement? Is there an achievement?
That's not yet. But the biggest achievement is the canteen fund project and the launching of the railway also in the years.
Will be or is?
Yes. But my biggest achievement, what will be my biggest achievement in the railway administration is the acquisition of the
It's your biggest achievement.
so far. Is the filling of the canteen. Yes.
In the current SRC administration, have you identified any executive or maybe anyone you've seen the person is doing well and then you intend of maybe reappointing that person?
Yes.
Should I trigger you to mention or I should just?
You can trigger me to mention. I'll mention the name of the person.
So comparing that semester, your administration, that's semester to this semester. Compare it.
Last semester was better than this. We hope this will come.
Why?
So with last semester, we had internally generated funds to run the administration from the very beginning of the semester. We got budget approval, but with this semester, there has been nothing like internally generated funds. Everything we've done so far has solely been pre-financed, which that has given us some time.
So you and your vice president, Master Fred, at LNUGS, and he's the one who engaged the company executing a key SRC project. What do you as the president?
It depends on if we are going to be at loggerhead personal issue. That is fine. But with professional issue, with profession, when it comes to profession, there's nothing like loggerheads. Personally.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, that's you have an issue with somebody personally and you go to a place and you guys.
Yes.
It doesn't work. Yes.
It's going to be what the work we are doing is really it should be in the interest of the students.
It should be in the interest of the students, but here's the case, you have personal issues. There's no way you're going to work properly with the students. If you want to speak, you can take the mic and speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our students. We are here to save the students and not for our personal interest. We put our personal interests and matters aside and save the best interests of the students because that's why we are here.
You think that is easy? What do you know about leadership?
Leadership is about serving the best interests of the people that you serve.
And here's the case, the person you are working with said that purpose or to lead that instance, you have personal issues with the person. And you expect you to come to work professionally and be working
Alright, so
way better.
I'm here to see.
Don't you think it will affect your personal problem will affect your professional work?
I'm yet to see a particular personal problem that can be solved.
So you need to tell me that you will solve it before going to work professionally.
Yes,
Are you telling me that you are having that issue and it's going to be working? It won't work. Can't happen.
yes, please.
Are you okay now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Before we move on to the document, let's hear a report. Okay. These are mistakes. Next time we have some stop the first page. They shouldn't be there. Okay. And if you like the different one style, start the printing press. Have you seen it?
Yes.
The different way the same.
It's different.
Next time we work on that.
Yes.
So our next question will be on the constitution. Okay.
Okay. So kindly tell us about the financial policies of NUGS and also the contribution of UMaT, SRID, SRC. And if you can make references or you can put any provision in the NUGS constitution.
That is chairman of the committee. Can we have a big explanation?
the southeastern part of Ghana. Ghana shares a border with northwestern part of the true of us.
That is false.
So your vice.
That is false.
So, what do you know about the constitution of visa?
Alright, so visa is a block of the constitution of visa talks about, or the constitution of visa with this supremacy is subjected to the constitution of Ghana, and every university being a member of the constitution of visa, the constitution takes effect on such universities.
So, they use that the NUGS constitution as well as the SRC constitution. Or made themselves supreme, yes or no?
Please.
Yes or no?
No,
Why?
they all declare themselves supreme and their jurisdiction, and they are all subjected to the constitution of Ghana.
So, if resolution of conflict, the constitution, what is your duty as president?
You said there's a resolution of conflict in the constitution.
Yes.
Can you please give me a case study in that regard?
So, what organ has the final authority to interpret the constitution?
The judicial committee.
So, what if the LA implements the different question. How do you protect yourself from accusation or bias?
Please come again.
How are you going to protect yourself from accusation or bias?
Can you give me a case study?
No, please.
So being accused of being biased in what way? In relation to what will I be accused of being biased?
Proceeding. Why is the constitutional supremacy essential for SRC leadership?
For student governance.
So, according to the standing orders, what is obligation? But do you know SOSA?
Yes.
What is the meaning of SOSA?
Bit of SRC address.
So, what is obligation regarding to that?
So the state of SRC address should be read within 3 weeks of the reopening of the semester. The first semester.
And when must it be delivered and why?
This should be delivered within the first 3 weeks of reopening of the semester. It should be delivered to account for all that the SRC has in possession.
So, under what condition can a member be revoked from participating in the sitting?
When he or she has been found contempt of the LA.
Once again,
When he or she resigns as a representative.
so the vice president give us one.
Okay, so when such a person refers a cause,
Come again.
When the person defends, when the person is being rusticated or defends its program of study.
What is rustication?
So rustication is basically fixing of a student for an academic year.
These are all conditions.
If found guilty of an offense,
Once again, a new reason.
can you please come again?
Another condition, any additional two.
As if the person also breaches any of the rules of the university.
Give me an example, a scenario.
An example is
The president wants to speak and give to me.
So an example is when the person fights in public or when the person engages in the act of conduct.
Another one.
When the person is found guilty of examination of
So, my last one question. Describe how you handle a situation where a controversial budget motion lacks a second during an LA sitting. I'm coming again. Describe how you handle a situation where a controversial budget motion lacks a second during an LA sitting.
So before a budget will even be moved to the floor of the house, it is first going to have to go through the finance and audit committee for them to sit down. So the finance and audit committee chairman who moved the motion for budget. When once the budget is moved, once it has passed through the finance and audit committee, the member of the finance and audit committee is expected to move to second the motion because it has gone through all the necessary stages and it has been cleared by the finance and audit committee. We will look before the floor of the house.
Okay, so tell me, does the SRC president have the power to impeach the speaker? No. Advice. Tell your president, I'll come to you. Okay. So please relax, take your time.
Although the president decides over all students, the president mostly functions within the executive council and do not extend their functions into the legislature.
Is this in the constitution? In the UMaT constitution?
No, there's no constitutional provision for that.
You sure
Yes.
that the president doesn't work and come into
The president works with them. But the president dismissing the
Please stand up.
the president dismissing the speaker of parliament for his duties. There is no constitution.
So concerning the cash collecting act, yeah. What does it say about utilization of funds?
So utilization of funds to be done in accordance with
Cash collecting, not according to what you know,
yes, so
what you think from
utilization of funds or collection of funds.
Utilization of funds.
Utilization of funds.
Do you understand utilization?
Let me be clear with the usage of funds.
You don't understand utilization.
I understand utilization.
So answer it.
So the Cash Collection Act doesn't talk about the utilization of funds. The Cash Collection Act only talks about the collection of cash.
Okay, so I will show you what's that. Let's go to the next one. What does it say about breach of act?
So a breach of the act shall warrant an investigation by the legislature and will be forwarded to the Judicial Committee for further recommendation.
Thank you.
So my last question. How would you resolve a conflict between a decentralized entity, procurement choice, and the PPA's centralized oversight? You get me? How would you resolve a conflict between a decentralized entity, procurement choice, and the PPA's centralized oversight?
The conflicts will be solved through strategic planning.
Are you sure you're lying to that? Are you sure you're lying to that?
Not sure.
I think.
How many members constitute the draft committee?
Please come again with the question.
I can't speak into myself.
Four.
I won't take that. How I mean?
Five.
Who is the chairman of that committee?
Again,
And who is the secretary?
the registrar or the registrar's representative.
Thank you. State all the rules that govern the organization of a station by students.
So in organizing a student excursion, the organizer will write to the registrar, stating the date of departure, the date of return, the type of excursion, and the number of people involved in the excursion. All the rules.
All the rules.
And a report of the excursion to be written and sent to the registrar. Yes, and a report of the whole of residents.
After query, please, you can have it.
A report of the whole of residents of the members involved, the people involved in the excursion will also be written and sent to the registrar.
Give it to your community. Do you think maintain is right?
I believe that is on the pause. No, on answering the question.
Do you believe that what he's saying is right? Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
Historian. And he said, Let's do science and maths quiz, okay? Yeah, so we are working together now. Like, come together. Are you ready? Okay, so who is Madam Mary Margaret Sally? Time of this
She's
one.
the registrar for
Who is
The registrar for the UMaT Rural Infrastructure Development.
okay? I said we are doing science and math, though. So we can go together. Like, I need to act as the together. 10 seconds is too much. 5 seconds. So let's continue. What's the governing body of the university?
University Council.
Name the members of the university council.
The chairman, the vice chancellor, the vice chancellor, the pro-vice chancellor, and to the
Time up. Okay, let's go on. What's the volume of the current UMaT student guidance code of conduct?
volume 2.
What month? What was the month and year that was published? The volume 2.
May 2020.
We are lying to that. Let's move on. The whole council shall be the governing body of all hall residents. True or false? Any amendment in addition to the students' regulations in the student guide is to be approved by which body of the university?
Academic board.
Correct. What is the current residential policy of the university for fresh students?
All fresh students will be provided education by the university.
What are the principal officers of the university?
The principal officers of the university are the chancellor, the vice chancellor, the pro-vice chancellor, the registrar, the librarian, and the finance officer.
Mr. Richie, the champion is the vice chancellor of the university of
False.
Why?
The vice chancellor of the University of Mines and Technology is Professor Richard Amampa.
The titular head of the institution is the vice chancellor, of course. The titular head of the university is the vice chancellor, of course.
False.
The same question. What's the name of the auditor on UMaT campus?
If the name has been as for about
The portrait at the hall. If you write for him, you close.
they have no idea.
Are you affiliated to Rural Hall?
Yes, please.
Why?
because that is the only hall on the SRID campus, and all students on SRID campus are affiliated to the hall.
Okay, thank you.
Man, they don't.
What of you on your feet? You still don't know what you're writing.
Bien, man, they don't.
Mr. Vice President, what inspired your appearance this evening? Your suits, red tie, white shirt. Tell us about it. What accounts for that?
As you can see, we are all in red tie.
I can't see.
Tell him.
Alright, so we being in red tie talks about we having
I never said speak for the both of you.
Alright, so
There's time for everything.
so that's what inspired my dressing for this very August occasion is
Okay, so why was your suit buttoned whilst you were sitting?
alright, thank you very much. I realized that in the course of the meeting I was sitting and standing simultaneously, and so
You were disrespecting the panel. That was why you were sitting and standing simultaneously.
yes, in all humility, I sincerely apologize.
Where is your title?
Another one, sir.
Bien, nigga.
Okay, so speak to your audience.
Can you sing the UMaT anthem? There's the University of Science and Technology, the institution.
Pause. Give it to your verse.
Romax.
Yeah, for the fans, no, right? We'll start. Please, okay. So the place is quiet. We are listening.
God bless the university.
It's good. Please go on. Go on.
God bless the University of Mines and Technology, an institution of.
You raise your hand there. Please continue.
Italy justice, I cannot really sing the anthem of faith.
So you are trying to hide behind your headset by drinking water. Don't you like buying water? Please. What do you like most about your president?
He is a man who believes in. He's a person who is optimistic. He believes that.
You can like say your president. What do you like about him?
It's knowledgeable.
That's all. So state them all.
That's all I can say.
That's very fast. Okay, so you can speak to your people and bring to them. They're done with you. Thank you, people. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Speak to your people. Come back to them.
Include an example. And I'm here this evening for you to believe my vision. In order for you to know what I have for you, which determines why you should vote for me as your next step as president. I believe in the power of collective agenda, and I believe that it is according to you and I, our efforts, that let us help build a better and a stronger youth. Thank you.
Manfredo.
Yes, we want to.
Be given the opportunity.
Do you want to speak to them too?
Yes, please. Be given the opportunity, or make the entire student population know that we are here for them and here to solve the transportation deficit. And here to give them a paperless policy that can force it. In the amount of the family to do, in the amount of time to exchange our policies, tracking our this and vote for us for a better youth and Israel.